over my time.
Chair Cantwell, thank you for holding this hearing. Ms. Sohn, thank you for being here today. Given the incredibly important position you're nominated to hold, I think it's important to discuss previous statements you've made. You have previously tweeted that, quote, Fox News has had the most negative impact on our democracy, unquote, and that Fox News is, quote, state-sponsored propaganda, unquote. Now, whether you're a fan of Fox News or not, I think it's pretty disturbing that someone nominated to the Federal Communications Commission has such a documented negative public opinion on one network or another. You've also stated that Senate Republicans, quote, ideology has overtaken their duty to serve their constituents, unquote. In your last hearing, you told my colleague, Senator Blunt, and I quote, my opinions as a public interest advocate will have no bearing on how I behave as a policymaker if I am confirmed. Now, we live in a world where censorship over political opinions or COVID-19 have actually run rampant and has become a detriment to our society. I think more than ever, we need more public discourse, not less. Now, not only have you advocated for censorship, but you have also recently announced that you would recuse yourself from a number of issues facing the FCC due to conflicts of interest. I struggle to understand how the American public can trust you to fulfill all the duties of this position if you aren't able to be involved with much of the work due to your past involvement with a streaming service that is now illegal. It seems as if the American public would be better served if we had a nominee that could, at a minimum, participate in the commission's work without recusal. I've got a few questions for you, and I'll go through them, then you can answer them. What ideology about Senate Republicans are you most concerned about? You claim that your personal opinions will not dictate how you will perform as a policymaker, but given your documented negative comments about Republicans and conservative broadcasters, how can you reasonably expect the American public to trust you as impartial and apolitical? In response to my written questions for the record in your last confirmation hearing, you say that you do not believe that the government should regulate internet rates. However, you indicated in a tweet in 2020 that the FCC had the authority to mandate low-cost broadband plans. That sounds like rate regulation to me. So has your position changed on internet rate regulation?
So there's a lot there, so let me just take it one at a time. I think when the ideology tweet, if I recall, I was upset because there was an effort to try to expand E-rate during the pandemic to households so that E-rate funds could be used to pay for kids who are home because of the pandemic. And I was told by a Hill staffer that Republicans didn't want to expand the E-rate program. They didn't want to turbocharge it, something along those lines. So that's my tweets, including that one that you've got up there, have been said, perhaps in a tone that I would maybe slightly regret today, were in the process of debates in my role as a public advocate, as part of a debate over policy. Okay, they're not, some personal opinion that I just kind of threw out there. They're part of my role as a public advocate. Let me also say that I have praised Republicans on Twitter, including Senators Wicker, Moran, Sass, Romney, Portman, Cornyn, Kennedy, Murkowski, and Hawley, and Representatives Issa and Scalise. In fact, I looked up when I was a president of Public Knowledge, we actually gave Representative Issa an award, an IP3 award. So I have, criticized Democrats, and I can list those for you if you'd like in the QFR. So do I generally have I generally criticized Republicans more than Democrats? Praised Democrats more than Republicans? Probably. I mean, given who I am, that's not a surprise. But it's not a one-way street. So I want to make that very, very clear. Let me talk a little bit about that, that tweet in particular. Again, it was done in the context of a hearing about social media and how they have a negative impact on our democracy. So I did raise the point that this is true of Fox News as well. Fox News is not a regulatee of the FCC. So again, while I regret my tone, I wish it was a little less sharp, I don't think it would impact what the work that I would have to do with the FCC, because I have no oversight. I would have no oversight if I'm confirmed over Fox News. And even if I did, let's say I did, just for the heck of it, I'd have to look at the record, I'd have to consult with my colleagues, I'd have to consult with Congress before I come to a decision.
So based on all this, you still believe you're impartial?
Absolutely.
You can act impartially?
I have been on the same side or on the opposite side of every regulated industry. I've had people, people may have seen my friend Preston Padden, who worked for Rupert Murdoch, who worked for Disney, who is a copyright hawk extraordinaire, has written an op-ed, has written letters, just wrote a letter to this committee. I mean, folks that I disagree with vehemently on policy issues still support me because they know I'm fair and they know I'm unbiased and they know that my door will always be open and I will always listen. So absolutely, I believe that I can be impartial.
Thank you. Senator Young.